Hello, welcome to season 49 of the Dominion League. I am in Division B1 this season. Last season I was in Division A and did not do very well, so I'm back down in Division B, which is full of players almost as good, if not, equally good. Looking at my division, let's take a look at what we got here. Chapel. I immediately start at Chapel. Way the Turtle's quite interesting with Chapel. With Advisor, with some of these cards, Wave the Turtle's really interesting. Advisor's kind of got a little bit of synergy there with Village Green, because your opponent's going to give you your Village Green, obviously, rather than discard it. Payload looks like it's going to be Wine Merchant. I don't really know what else it would be other than Wine Merchant, so looks like you're going to need to get some Wine Merchants. Get thin with Chapel, get a bunch of Village Greens, maybe some Labs for draw. Advisors are probably fine for draw, as I mentioned with the Village Green. Maybe do some Turtle stuff. You probably do get a Tracker along the way. Tracker seems like a pretty good card. I think I'm going to just open with a Chapel here. And then, man, I could have done, what could I have done? Silver, Chapel, Rats? Okay, so 5-2 is just losing for me. They get to demand Chapel, and I just lose pretty much. Then try to high roll here and grab an Advisor, and hope that pays off. But I am pretty far behind. I had a game like this against Johns 2 seasons ago, and they could have opened. They had to choose between Recruiter and Demand. So I'm not going to play this Advisor because I don't want to lose out on my Chapel. Grab a Silver now and hopefully don't bottom deck my Chapel. Which I do, so they're going to reveal, discard my Chapel, and then I'm going to resign, probably. I don't know what I'm waiting for to happen for me to resign. So the Chapel's not bottom decked, then I'm guaranteed to trash a whole bunch of cards and still be able to afford something. I honestly don't know if there's any reason for me to keep playing this game. Their deck is 6 coppers and Chapel. So, they've got to take a turn and figure out what they want to do. Buy a silver or something. Trash 1 copper, buy a silver. If they've got 4 money, that makes... Or they could, if they have 4 money in Chapel, they should just turtle the Chapel and then buy, buy an Advisor or Village Green or something. Okay. Okay. So I have to turtle this again. Exciting. That's at least something I can do. Tracker now or Village Green. I think I'm going to grab the Tracker, just try to get some pace going. I do technically have a Village effect this turn with the Advisor coming in. It's fun. They were able to play Chapel twice, trashing 7 cards before I was able to see my Chapel once. And I'm going to grab a native village, I think. Or just a rat catcher. Native village could be fine. I guess I don't really want a native village, so I'm going to grab a rat catcher. Oh, and my Chapel only sees 1 estate. Lordy. This went very badly. Alright, let's grab a Village Green and top deck it. I still am not sure why I haven't resigned here. Man, they can thin 2 coppers and buy... I wonder if they should buy a Bishop even. No, I guess that'll help me catch up in thinning slightly. They can thin a couple of coppers though, and honestly they only really need to thin 1 copper. You just thin 2 coppers and buy a Village Green, discard the Spice Merchant, the Wine Merchant. That's not quite right, because I actually want to buy Wine Merchant and discard Wine Merchant next turn. So they've got 7 in hand here. They should just take another Wine Merchant. The other thing they could do is discard trash 2, leave the Wine Merchant on the bat, and buy another Wine Merchant. But oh yeah, this is... Yeah, so like, that's what I thought. Like maybe they buy a Wine Merchant and leave the Wine Merchant on the mat. Like they buy a Wine Merchant, Native Village or something at this point. And then next turn they have only 1 Wine Merchant which they could play, and then they could play the Village Green, buy a Village Green next turn and discard, and they've got 2 in the Village Green. And then the turn after that they can buy a Lab. Their deck seems like a lot more fun to play at this point. So if I see my advisor, if I see my Chapel turn 4, I get to trash... I get to trash at least 2 estates. Probably 3, although maybe they discard. I get to trash 2 estates and 2 coppers. I don't see it till turn 5, and I don't see it with copper. They get gold. I am not quite understanding that. Alright, well, they leave me certainly with the... They certainly discard the tracker, I assume. There's too many nice things that can happen to me if they give me the tracker. Okay. Let's play the tracker first, see what happens. Like, if I get the Field's Gift, I might next turn this Ratcatcher. Actually, I don't see any reason for me to do that. Alright, I can discard a Treasure to get a card costing up to 4. That's nice. Like, discard a Copper and take another Village Green, or like another Advisor. We'll take another Village Green, top deck it, and then I can trash 2 of you. And I think I'm just going to take another Tracker, since 2. I can top deck that as well. Not quite sure why I'm top decking it, but I can. So here they just buy Village Green, I assume. And then that lets them get the Wine Merchant back out, and the next turn they can buy like a Wine Merchant, Village Green, something like that. That'll be not quite enough money. They seem to have overthinned. Like, leaving the Wine Merchant out last turn was very strange. I still have 5 coppers in my deck, which is a little bit sad. I think I'm just going to slow trash with Ratcatcher at this point. I really want to hit something good this turn, so I'm not even going to trash at this point if I don't have to. Alright, let's see. So I can gain a silver. I don't really need to top deck that. And I get the plus buy. So I can top deck a Lab. Is that the best card to ramp up my payload? I've got the Lab, Village Green down there. I can get through some stuff, trash, and then maybe get my things next turn. What are those things? I can get my Wine Merchants going next turn. We're just going to Province now? It seems strange to have bought the Wine Merchant that leave it on the mat. I don't quite understand what they're doing. But they were so far ahead on turn 1. And then more far ahead on by turn 4 that they have some leeway to do different things. So Village Green, Tracker, discard Wine Merchant seems reasonable to me. I'm not going to call this. Let's play the Advisor. Alright, so we play this now. Tracker gives us a card. So I can trash 3 coppers. That top card's a Village Green. Trash 3 coppers, buy a Wine Merchant. And I will not top deck it. Maybe that's a mistake. I will go ahead and kill this Chapel now. I think I'm not going to set it aside, and I do have 2 more coppers. Oh no, that's all my coppers, so I'm thin now too. I've got the Lab, the Advisor, so assuming I draw one of those, good stuff can happen for me. Those 6 cards are 2 silvers, lab, advisor, tracker, wine merchant. They've just got an extra gold on me and an extra wine merchant. Sorry, 2 extra golds. So I decided I was going to trash this chapel. Okay, plays the lab, plays the advisor. This gets me the end of the shuffle. I'm going to play this first tracker first, just in case something strange happens. Earth's Gift. I've already seen Earth's Gift. Wind's Gift. Okay, well. Now, I guess we play this. Kind of felt that coming, and maybe I should have played around that a little bit more. Alright, so I've got 6 money to spend. I need to add a little bit more draw. I don't know, I kind of drew everything there. I could just do what they did and buy a gold here. Discard the wine merchant. That doesn't seem crazy. Advisor, and there's nothing really to buy. So maybe just buy the gold, discard the wine merchant, and hope to not have the bad Wind's Gift next turn. I kind of felt that Wind's Gift coming on the first one. Maybe I should have just considered not playing the second one, knowing that Wind's Gift was down, but it was 1 and 6 to see it, so I don't know. Again, I'm still just completely lost here. Very exciting commentary, I know. I'm not really sure what my path to victory is. They add a bunch of provinces now, and then they draw all their provinces, and they can't find stuff. But the deck is so small that they could easily get 4 provinces in there and still find more provinces. They've got 10 more payload. Yeah. I guess technically speaking, only 6 more payload because I have the extra silver on the trackers than me. So with 6 more payload than me, they can, and it's denser. Because that 6 more is basically 2 cards versus my. I have 2 extra cards and 6 less payload, I think. Yeah. But hopefully I can get Field's Gift or Forest's Gift. The Wisp would not be terrible. Wisp is kind of nice with Advisor because it basically means an extra cantrip I can draw to the end of the shuffle with. So that makes sense. I can even see another wine merchant here and village green. Lets them play everything. So they're adding, basically 4 money and a buy, and then just more stuff, reliability. Yeah, perhaps last turn I should have turtled that tracker. I don't know. It cut my payload by 3. I could have bought much nicer things, but I think there's Forest's Gift out there, Swamp's Gift. There's things I could get that are not terrible, and I can't. I don't know. Maybe I should play around the 1 and 6 horse boon in the deck. Demanding a village green horse. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why not just buy a village? What is the horse doing for them? Well, that was just about the worst reveal that I could have. Alright, let's play some trackers. Alright, so 3 buys, 14 money. I did draw a deck there. I've actually only got 12 money to spend. I'm going to need to get another village if I'm getting another wine merchant, although I don't necessarily have to play the trackers every turn. So does that just mean I get wine merchant, village green, farmer's market? Not quite sure why I would get farmer's market. Could just mean I get wine merchant and demand village green like they did. I also don't need to play both trackers every turn. Potentially, I could start turtling one at some point or just not play it next turn if I have stuff. But I guess if I buy wine merchant, village green, I don't have draw. So what if I buy advisor, village green, farmer's market. That's like demand advisor, village green, farmer's market, and then next turn something, and then get more stuff next turn. Village green, don't top deck, farmer's market, don't top deck. And the hope is that advisor reveals some village greens at some point, but I have drawn them all, so that's not going to happen this turn. This is not, I think, a good game for me to continue to play. If I had resigned turn 4, I think the rest of this match would go better for me. But I'm stuck in this long, so I'm kind of stuck here. Again, they still have 6 more payload than I do. 7 more if you count the bishop, although I'm not quite sure what they're bishoping. Bishoping the golds doesn't seem useful. They played the horse. Bishoping the gold seems actively bad. So I'm not quite sure what they're bishoping. They're silver. They could get 2 provinces and then just start bishoping provinces to keep up. That's not crazy. Their bottom card should be a lab. So they're going to draw next turn. They could go to like province lab. It's 13, so I've got 3 more to spend. They could block me into farmer's markets, or they could get province lab. Nothing. They don't have to get a province. They can get gold lab. Doesn't seem crazy to me. And then they can start bishoping golds in earnest. They've got enough to double province, and next turn they can do like province lab discard. I keep saying like that's a lot of labs for the size deck. Advisor sadly slows down the game a little bit, but it is what it is. I have really just found all of my stuff at the top of the shuffle. Okay, so the only card in my discard is my wine merchant. Doesn't make sense for me to gain a gold here. Okay, so I can't spend all of my money here because my wine merchant got discarded. So I think this is just wine merchant lab for me. And I'm going to draw big next turn. Top deck a lab. Maybe there were draw orders there that let me... maybe there were draw orders there that let me see the whole deck. I'm not sure. I guess not. I guess I was 1 card short of drawing. Oh yeah, if I draw the advisor first before the lab, then they discard whatever, and then I lab into it, or they discard the lab. So if the advisor's now on the very bottom of the deck there, in the bottom 2 cards of the deck below the lab, I get back around the wine merchants and have 2 more payload I can spend last turn. And yeah, I should be able to next turn at least 1 village green, maybe a village green, maybe an advisor depending on, or maybe a lab depending on what the draw is. So advisor draws 2, labs draw 2, and I've got so that's 8 cards of draw, 11 cards of draw with the village green, so it should be overdrawing by 2, depending on what the trackers do. Not really sure how I beat them just double provincing here, though. I think I'm going to need a province next turn just to try to get some kind of lead going. Maybe get a little something with the farmer's market pile if they don't move to contest that. It's harder for them because they have, the terminal is what, bishop and 2 wine merchants. I have 2 wine merchants, 2 trackers, farmer's market. Yeah, I'm actually short in action. I think I decided I just didn't need to play the tracker every turn. Both trackers every turn, although I I'm pretty sure Swamp's Gift is the next one, right? Which does help a little bit with the drawing around with Advisor. Alright, well, we'll definitely play this to start. Yeah, I mean, I assume we just click on the advisors first and then next turning a lab, or turtling a lab. It's not really next turning, but almost always I'm going to play it and then turtle the other one. Turtle the other lab the next turn. Play advisor. Force them to discard tracker, which is nice. All right, let's play this tracker first. Okay. So my discard is Farmer's Market. Yeah, so I play this now. Play this now and just don't play the tracker. And yeah, definitely. It's me 12, 16, 19. All right, so I've got 19 to spend. I'm pretty sure this wants to be at least one province. Could be like province, village green, advisor. Doesn't really ramp up my payload, but province, village green, merchant doesn't give me more draw, which is concerning. Province, village green, lab, and then buy like a province and a wine merchant next turn. I can get to triple if I have another wine merchant and tracker and can play them all. I get more money with the farmer's market next turn anyway. So province, village green, lab, and then I will not top deck the village greens just because those are nice to see with the advisors. I will top deck a lab. And I've got a lab coming into play. So I'm still kind of hoping that they add too many payload cards to their deck and or green cards and not enough draw and village support. Then they start having multiple dud turns. They have 5 golds in their deck. Yeah, so this is a dud. We'll call this a full dud turn for them. They hit 17 and 3 buys. So they can buy province. If they want to buy province, they can just buy like 2 labs and a village green and claim that their deck is still better and we're tied and I have this extra green card in my deck. But they've still got to draw around. I guess they've got advisors down there. They've got an advisor and a lab down there. So they've got some of them on a draw. The dream is I reveal, advisor reveals 3 village greens. They have to discard one. That seems unlikely, but 2 village greens and a lab or something. I think they still just discard the lab. So really, I think the only situation they discard village green. I don't know, if you do village green, gold, wine merchant, it seems like it could be tough to decide, but in general, I think they'll just discard the wine merchant there every time. Just trying to come up with snares. Yes, they can demand here to get around some of the unpleasantness of this draw. They've trashed 1 gold, and a silver. They have 5 golds then, and I have 1. I really thought the deck that I'm building, if they'd not gone for golds and gone for the deck I'm building, they would be 3 turns ahead of me. They feel like they're 2 turns ahead of me with this build. Gold is not quite as dense as Wine Merchant, but you don't need an action to play it, and you have that $2 cost at the end. So I guess 2 golds is worth 6, and 2 Wine Merchants is effectively worth 6, and the buys. We're getting another bishop. Okay, so they're just doing stuff completely differently than what I think of. We'll lead on advisor as normal. I don't see much reason not to play this Will-O-Wisp, but okay. I did not find. What did not I find? I did not find a silver. I did not find 2 advisors down there. Well, let me play a tracker first, because it could be something that does something cool. It is not. Alright, so I kind of do feel like I need to demand something here. This is 20, effectively 18. So if I'm buying a province and I'm buying a wine merchant and I'm demanding an advisor, and then I think I have 4 villages. Did they They didn't discard one, so maybe there's a village and an advisor down there. So province, I mean, I guess the thing is, like, they're just gaining similar points to me without having to gain provinces, but I don't really see how I win either way. So province, wine merchant, demand advisor. And discard the 2 wine merchants. So I guess I found all the payload there. Oh, yeah, it was village green, advisor were the bottom. Silver were the bottom. So I've essentially found most of my stuff. If I'd drawn the village green, I could have potentially drawn the advisor and next turned it. I assume I'm discarding wine merchants here. But it seems like they're drawing pretty easily. So if they're bishop and golds, I mean, I guess they can bishop 2 golds and buy 2 golds every turn, and that's worth 8 VP. Is that what I'm looking at? I mean, I'm getting to a point where I can start double provincing, although it seems like at any point they can also just double province if I lower the piles that much. Double province plus. I also have a decent chance of tripling with my current deck makeup. So I'll like double province this time. I can also get a couple of extra points from Farmer's Market. Although they may take a Farmer's Market here just to potentially steal some of that VP. So in their hand, we discarded a gold, a wine merchant, and something else. A gold, a wine merchant, and a lab. They drew one of those. So I'm assuming like the bottom cards are... Oh, they drew the wine merchant and played it. So I'm assuming the bottom cards are lab gold. So they've got 6 golds and 2 bishops in hand. Is that... no, they still have a pouch. Like pouch, 5 gold, and a bishop. 2 bishops, 5 golds, and a pouch. So if they bishop 2 golds and play 10 money, that's 20 money. And they could buy like 2 golds in a lab, and then feel like they're just generating more VP a turn than me. I don't really have any, and they're maxing out at 26 payload potentially, so they can triple themselves. So the question is, this turn, can I add a province and build the quad? Is what I need to do. What does quad provincing look like for me? Quite a bit more money than I have in the deck, certainly. So that's, I need to figure out what quad provincing, what it takes for me to get 4 provinces in a turn. Because I don't think I can get 4, and if I can lower the piles such that There's 4 provinces left, and I can get 4. And I don't think I can do that next turn. Like, I can't get 2 provinces and build a quad next turn. But I can get a province and like 2 wine merchants next turn, and then next turn 2 wine merchants, or a total 2 wine merchants, and get the province the turn after that, potentially. They do have 1 more golden deck, actually, that I'm not looking at. So if they played the 3 golds, I'm not looking at, that's 20, and they found 2 things to bishop, that's 29. I don't think they can find 2 things to bishop easily, but... and then in 2 turns, my farmer's market is going to generate no money. So that's also a concern, right? If yeah, if there's 4 more, I take them and trash this. Otherwise, I get money. So I wouldn't get money in 2 turns, so that's concerning, at least for my payload. So really, I just have the 3 wine merchants, the 2 silvers, the pouch, the 2 trackers, which is 19. Is that right? That sounds about right. I can always demand a farmer's market or something for that last turn, though. So yeah, how do they play around me doing this thing I do? They could just bishop 2 golds a turn and have enough VP that quad, it doesn't matter. They could add their deck to quad. It's also possible it's really difficult for me to quad with my deck. So they can just keep doing what they're doing every turn. Add some reliability, add some golds. Yeah, they took the farmer's market. I'm not really concerned about the payload. Like, I'm winning this game by getting a whole bunch of provinces in the last turn. That 4 VP just seems like it's a terminal slot for them. That's annoying. So if I add like province, 2 wine merchants, lab this turn, next turn I turtle a bunch of the wine merchants, buy a province and 1 more wine merchant. I need to just count to 32, which is 2 to the 6th. There's not other piles, right? Advisor, Village Green. Advisor, Village Green, Wine Merchant are all low. Okay, we're drawing stuff now. Okay, let's play some trackers and see what I get. Actually, I'm going to take this. And I'm not going to top deck it. I have visions of Wind's Gift. Okay, so this is 18. So the play did not go well. I added 3 payload, 4. I've still got this, so 8 more than I have, which is 26. So I go Province, and then top deck Advisor, Village Green. And next turn I need to add Province to Wine Merchants, which costs me 18. And then potentially like next turn the Farmer's Market or something. Next turn the Trackers. I do have this plus card token. And a very nice starting hand. How many buys do they have? They've got 5 buys now as well. I guess we discard the labs. I guess you click lab first and then advisor. And then wine merchant, I guess? Gold? I guess wine merchant. They still have more horses? This is very frustrating when I had the last turn that I had. I realize their deck is maybe denser than mine, but like I see, oh, I'm taking their 1 good card out of the advisor, and then they play Village Green, draw a horse, play a horse, draw an advisor, have another horse somehow. I don't know where the other horse came from, but they had another one. Probably from a demand 2 turns ago that they didn't, or they double demand last turn. Okay, so they started with demand, horse, advisor, Village Green, horse. Okay, so I should have expected that. So yeah, the plan, I mean, if I next turn the farmer's market, they can always play the farmer's market, and then I'm just getting 4 VP, which, you know, it's not nothing, but it's not a lot. I did not add a wine merchant last turn. So I've got 3 wine merchants, which is 12. Gold, 2 silvers, pouch is 20, 22 with the trackers. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do the thing I said this turn and build the quad province. I wonder if they can just build the quad province on this turn and then threaten me to not touch anything. With the 2 trackers, I believe Forest's Gift is still out there. I believe Field's Gift, Earth's Gift is still out there. I've got 6 buys, I guess, with Pouch. We both got 6 buys. So Wine Merchant's Advisor, Village Green is 32. So probably those piles need to get a little bit lowered if I'm going to look to pile out on those things. I mean, this is whatever. They just play the lab. This game's been going for almost 40 minutes, and I felt like I've been lost since turn 1. So, as I said, this is kind of a demoralizing one for me. And 40 minutes is a long time for a game of Dominion, especially where you're just really far behind the whole time. So, yeah, I mean, I wonder if they play the farmer's market here. They don't do. And also, if they lower Village Greens, Advisors, or Wine Merchants, I get closer to pileouts, especially if I can roll Earth's Gift or Forest's Gift. Earth's Gift can get me a Village Green, and then I only need 28 to pile. Forest's Gift just gives me an extra gain. Okay, they're trashing their other bishop. I wonder if that means they're transitioning over to greening now. I think I determined that I can't triple this turn without beneficial boons. Oh, if I play the farmer's market, the 3 wine merchants, I can triple province. So they can't really double province here. They can, but I have no threat of quad provincing. So if they take a province here, I'm solely building next turn. And maybe like turtling all my wine merchants except for 1, and then buying, using my treasure to buy, or turtling them all and using my treasure to buy 2 wine merchants. Well, that's a bit dangerous with the pile lowering. So they've got 13 and 4 buys. I have 2 golds, so they have 5 golds still. So they have 30 and 6 buys. And this is 4 more than they can get on a normal turn. Yeah. Wow. Really? I can't beat this? Well, we draw for a bit, see what happens. I'm just going to get all of my labs. It's incredibly sad. This just doesn't do anything for me at this point. Oh. I drew... Okay. This was, they say, not even remotely close. And I will demand an advisor and be very sad the way this game ended. I thought for sure I could have drawn deck there. I had an advisor and a wisp near the bottom. They don't have any horses this turn. They added all those green cards. Not that many. If I see them play a lab, I'm in trouble. I'm believing they don't have any other draw cards in hand except for this last one. I wonder... Yeah, I don't think there's a way to do the thing with the gift. If there'd been a... I think because the gift is occurring inside of my hand. The 4 cards are in my hand, so I'm always going to draw a card off the top of the deck. Well, this is a complete dud for them. So if I can hit... Oh, not a complete dud. They still hit Province. I mean, it's hard for them not to hit Province. Not really clear to me what my outs are here. 16 points is a lot of points. And I'm not... I keep revealing good stuff. So I would need Province and 4 duchies. And they're just discarding my labs every time. I wonder if I should play these trackers first. Alright, so 16 points is more than I can... Wait, I'm first player, right? So Province, 3 duchies, estate costs me 25 money and 5 buys. And I am first player, so that is a losing tie. This is a pretty good reshuffle here for me. And it's a good one, bad one for them. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing now. I'm just... I come within a losing tie here. I'm going to demand an advisor, I guess. And then, I don't know, grab a rat catcher. These are good, all good cards at the bottom for me. They've got some labs in hand, for sure. Because they bottom decked them last turn. Man, if I drew a little bit more, I could have gotten another... I just needed to draw 3 more money. I don't even know if I had much more money in my deck. Tracker could have given me something. Wind was good, but Swamp was not good at that point. Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel pretty good that I made it close in the end. I think I was just utterly crushed from turn 1. And they must have meandered a little bit to not be crushing me the whole way. And we move on to game 2.